All right, everybody, welcome back to the deep dive. Today we're going deep on Florida business law.
Oh, yeah.
And for this one, we're using the Yankwitt Law Firm website as our main source.
Great source.
So whether you are thinking about starting a business, working with one, or just kind of curious about the legal ins and outs of it all,
Yeah,
this is the deep dive for you.
absolutely.
So let's get right into it.
Okay.
So like the very first thing, if I'm thinking about starting a business in Florida,
Right.
what are some like the essentials that I need to know right off the bat?
Well, you need to know that before you even start thinking about your amazing idea, whether it's,
Yeah.
gourmet grilled cheese or a vintage online clothing store,
Yeah.
you need to lay the legal groundwork.
Okay.
And that is really where things like operating agreements and shareholder agreements come in.
Okay.
These are kind of like the rule book
Okay.
for how your business is going to operate and how you will interact with your partners.
So before I even, print up the T-shirts or get the food truck rolling,
Exactly.
I need to have this stuff figured out.
Exactly. It's like setting the ground rules before you even open the doors.
Okay. All right.
So an operating agreement is especially crucial for LOCs.
Okay.
You can almost imagine it like a prenup for your business partners.
Oh, okay.
It outlines who does what, how profits are split, how decisions are made, what happens if someone wants out.
Right.
And having this in place can prevent a lot of headaches down the road.
I bet.
Believe me.
Yeah. No one wants to think about, the business going sour and they're just starting out.
Of course not.
But it makes sense to have that
Yeah.
kind of all figured out just in case.
Absolutely. And then shareholders agreements, they serve a similar purpose, but for corporations.
Okay.
So you can think of them as outlining the rights and responsibility of each shareholder.
Okay.
Things like voting rights, how shares can be transferred, and what happens if there is a dispute.
Okay. So once we've got kind of that legal blueprint
Yes.
in place, then it's time to figure out how we're actually going to structure this business.
Yes.
And the website mentioned C Corps, S Corps, and LLCs.
Yes.
And now as someone who barely passed high school accounting, could you just break down the differences between these three?
Absolutely.
Let's see.
So think of it like you're choosing the right vehicle for
Yeah.
your business journey.
Right.
Each structure, C Corp, S Corp, LLC,
Right.
has a different impact on your taxes and how much personal liability you have.
Okay, so tax is everyone's favorite topic.
Yeah, right.
So what's the deal with C Corp and the double taxation thing that I've heard about?
Okay, so with a C Corp, the business itself is taxed on its profits. And then when those profits are distributed to shareholders as dividends,
Okay.
those are taxed again on the individual's tax return.
So you get hit twice, basically.
Yeah, hence double taxation.
Okay, so are there any ways to avoid that, or?
That's where the S Corp and the LLC come in.
Okay.
They are both what we call pass-through entities.
Okay.
Meaning the profits and losses are passed through directly to the owner's personal tax returns.
Gotcha.
So you're only taxed once, not twice.
I like that.
Yeah, it's like the business income is flowing through to your personal tax return. Nice and simple.
Way simpler.
And this can potentially save you a lot of money, especially if your business is profitable.
Okay, so that sounds like a much better deal, especially for,
Yeah.
small business owner or someone just starting out.
Right.
So are there any catches with those two, or?
Well, there are always trade-offs.
Okay.
They have more restrictions like limits on the number and type of shareholders that you can have.
Mhm.
And LLCs, on the other hand, are more flexible,
Right.
but might have slightly higher administrative costs depending on the state that
Okay.
you're in.
So it's all about weighing kind of the pros and cons and
Exactly.
figuring out which one is right for your business.
Exactly.
Okay. Now, another thing that I saw on the website was registered agents.
Yes.
What are those?
So a registered agent is like your business's official mailroom for legal documents.
Okay.
So it's a person or company that is designated to receive things like lawsuits, official notices, and other important correspondence from the state.
So basically, it's someone who's making sure that I don't miss
Yes.
any important legal paperwork.
Exactly. And it is a requirement in Florida, and it just helps ensure that you're properly notified of any legal action or any important deadline.
Okay, that makes sense.
Mm.
Now, the last thing that I wanted to touch on was something that really caught my eye on the website.
Yes.
It said that even if I'm operating a business in Florida,
Mm-hmm.
I could incorporate it in Nevada or Delaware.
Yes.
Why would anyone do that?
It's a very fascinating strategy.
Yeah, it seems kind of complicated to me.
It can be a little bit complicated,
Yeah.
but Nevada and Delaware are known for having business-friendly laws,
Okay.
lower filing fees, and court systems that are often seen as more favorable to businesses.
So it's like I'm shopping around for...
Kind of, yeah.
the best legal environments for my business,
Yes.
even if it's not actually located there.
Exactly. And again, it's not a decision to be taken lightly. There are costs and complexities involved.
Sure.
But for some businesses, the benefits might outweigh the challenges.
Wow. So there's a lot more that goes into setting up a business.
There is.
Legally than I think I realized.
Absolutely.
We've covered, operating agreements, shareholder agreements, corporate structures, this whole idea of like incorporating out of state.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Yeah, we've just kind of scratched the surface here.
Yeah.
It's so important to remember that every business is unique.
Right.
And what works for one might not work for another.
Right.
Consulting with a legal professional is always a smart move.
Of course.
To make sure that you're making the best decisions for your specific situation.
Great advice. So there you have it, folks. Our whirlwind tour of Florida business law. Hopefully this deep dive is giving you some of the knowledge you need to, start navigating that world, whether you're an aspiring entrepreneur or just curious about how these things work.
And as you embarked on your business journey, remember that the legal landscape is always evolving. So
True.
Staying informed and seeking expert advice when needed will set you up for success.
Couldn't have said it better myself. So until next time, keep those business dreams brewing, and we'll catch you on the next deep dive.